Now, if you're a regular visitor of mine, welcome back, but you're going to notice something slightly different. You haven't got a view of my lounge in the background or my bedroom corner. This is my first video I'm doing from my new studio. So I hope you like it. I know it's just a blank wall at the moment, but it's a bit of a easier blank canvas for me to put the contents of this video, which you should be seeing right now. And it's just a nicer, blanker canvas. I will stick a shelf up around about here and put something on it just to make it feel a bit more homely, because at the moment it looks like I'm in a prison mugshot. But no, I'm really looking forward to making more content from this space, because I can feel more relaxed, and hopefully that'll come across in my videos. I haven't got too many distractions here. And to celebrate this first video from my studio, it's going to be the Orient Defender version 2, and version 1 I will discuss briefly, just to show and discuss the changes that have happened between 1 and 2, and why this is a bit of a hidden gem if you've never heard of it before, and why you should definitely pay attention. I know this watch has been out a little while and has been reviewed before, but in the UK this isn't a watch we just readily can get hold of. So it's nice for us UK people, as well as you folks overseas, who may have more experience with it, to see my take on this watch. And I'm also going to do some nice wrist shots and show photos of the watch out and about, because this is a field watch after all. And I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you in a moment. So here we have it, guys. As you can see, I have a new placemat area, but I will still be using, when I do my mod videos, the tried and tested crafting mat. So fear not, everything isn't changing. I'm trying to just mix it up a bit, guys. So this is my new rustic station for reviewing. Now, here it is, the version 2 Orient Defender. So first thing I want to discuss is the stats and the specs, really, because those are the important things you're going to need to know first. And we'll start with the dimension of the case. This has a 42.4 millimeter case width, and it has a 12.2 millimeter thickness. The lug to lug, which is the length of the watch, is just shy of 50 mil. Then you have the lugs, which is good news. Orient often do 21 or 19 mil, or these quirky size lug widths. This is a very uniform 22 mil, as you can see here, H22. And this says it's calf. So I don't know if it's calf as in the baby cow, or it's actually from the leg. I'm joking, it's a baby cow, but it's okay. It's quite stiff. That's the first thing I'm going to change on this strap. It's the strap on this watch, which I will show you shortly. But to show you in its standard form to begin with, just so you can see how good this watch can look just by changing the strap out. So the case finish is awesome, actually. I love this bead blasted. It really adds to the whole toolish effect. But the trouble is, it does scratch really easy. As you can see here, I did that when I had a slightly longer thumbnail and I was just unscrewing the crown, and I just literally grazed it with my nail. So that's the one thing to be wary of these bead blasted finishes. While we're here, you can see it has a nice bit of detailing on the crown, which I really do like. That's the Orient logo, and it's screw in. And so this has 100-meter water resist, which it's kind of irrelevant as it's not really a dive watch, but it's nice to know you can get it really quite wet and not worry about any water ingress, because it has screw case back as well with a full brushed finish, which is also really cool. But if you're going to get this really wet, you don't want this on a calf skin strap. So first thing I'm going to do is swap it out to the strap I like to keep it on, so you know what I'm talking about. So here it is on the strap I've chosen to put it on. Because it's a field watch and it's kind of go anywhere, do anything watch, I thought I want this to be on a strap, which I'm not going to worry about it getting wet. So this I got from Gecko, and it's one of their Zulu Diver. It's a lovely soft rubber, and also you see the green complements the creamy colour of the dial. I think it works really well. What do you guys think? But the other cool thing about this watch, when you look at really close, so I'm just going to buff the glass a bit. It's mineral glass, by the way. So it's got a slightly, ever so slightly metallic finish to the dial. And as we're up looking really close, look at the dial design. I just think it's really interesting. Now they swapped it all around from the version 1, because the version 1 had different location for the 24-hour subdial there and the day subdial there, and they also had a different location for the date. So they've moved everything around. I think it looks a bit neater this way, and it's because they've put a new movement in it. The movement in this is the F6B22, and that effectively is an upgrade because it has hacking and hand winding as opposed to the version 1 didn't. So they've updated its spec on that front, and they've tweaked the design of the dial. There's a few little differences, but I think they've done a good job to keep it looking like the version 1, but they've made some subtle changes to just to make it look like it is definitely a newer version, a newer watch. And they've moved the crown location as well. It used to be here, and now it's here. And the crown design has changed as well slightly. It's slightly easier to turn from, well, I can't tell because I haven't played with the version 1, but it looks slightly bigger and easier to turn. Then what else have they changed? I've said all the other, yeah, they've changed the location of everything really. And the back on the version 2 is all brushed. They did have a bit of polishing on this part. So I do like that they've refined it a bit more without changing it too much. And one thing they've kept as well was the excellent lume, which I'll show you now. As you can see, the lume is very strong, very nice. It doesn't take too much to charge it up, and it holds brightly, and it's just a lovely strong green colour. Orient seem to just be very good with their lume. It must be something to do with the fact that they are owned by Seiko now. Since 2017, they were fully absorbed into the Seiko group. Now, speaking of Seiko, Seiko do their own field watch. There's the SNK and the slightly larger watch they do, which I'll pop a picture up here. And they have similar specs, but this is even better value. And it's more of a quirkier choice. If you want a Japanese watch, which has lots of heritage, Orient have been around since the 1950s, and they were slowly absorbed by Seiko, but it makes sense to buy a Japanese watch and not have to spend too much money because Seiko have dominated that aspect of the market. Maybe not so much now. They are getting a bit cheeky with their pricing, but Orient have always been extremely good value, and they still are. And if you want even more premium Orients have an Orient Star range, which I would like to get a closer look at one of their Orient Star watches, because they're nowhere near the Grand Seiko kind of quality, because they're thousands of pounds Grand Seikos. The Orient Stars are more like £400, £500, £600, depends on which one you get. So you're looking at a big step up in quality. So it's nice to know that that pattern of having your entry-level range, which this watch would fall into, or your more premium range, you've got the Orient Star range. And they do a field watch, which does look really nice. But it's nice to know that Orient themselves have almost beaten Seiko at their own game with regards to a quality field watch, because this has unique styling. I do like this quirkier dial design, and because the case size is relatively large, it fits in with the whole field watch aesthetic, because field watches should be big, clear, legible, functional, and that's definitely what this watch does. I love the contrast between the cream dial and the black indices, lettering and numbers, and the hands, lovely hands with the skeletonized parts, so you can always still just get a glimpse through them to see what's underneath. And the fit and finish is extremely good. Bear in mind, I got this for £143 from eBay, brand new. I got it within 10 days, which is, I always say 10 days, seems 10 days is like the go-to period of time for watches to arrive. So yeah, I was really impressed how quick it came. And it came in obviously its original packaging, which I'll show you. Again, you get a decent enough box with some mirroring effect on there. Nice pillow, your tags, everything, all the guarantee. Very nice. And then it's protected with a final sleeve. It's great. So that's a way you can get one of these watches in the UK, is to buy it through eBay and look out for the prices. Maybe this isn't the most popular colour choice. There are other colours available, which I've seen online. So here's an idea of the other versions that are available. Maybe this one isn't quite as popular, hence why I got it for an even better price. They often sell the least popular versions for less, but I'm thoroughly impressed. Now I think it's about time you guys saw what this watch looks like out of a studio setting. So let's take a look. So now my conclusion for this watch is as follows. My likes are, it is very light on the wrist. It weighs less than 100 grams on either the leather or this rubber strap. So it's lightweight. It's very, very comfortable. Don't really notice it on the wrist because of its lightweight. It's a very well balanced watch. It's very clear and legible, which is what you would expect from a field watch. So that's happy days. I love the bead blasted finish, even though it could always scratch up quite easily, but it really gives it that toolish look, which is what you want from what effectively is a military style field watch. I like the Lume you've seen earlier on. The Lume is fantastic on this. And as a Lumeaholic, I'm really, really happy with that. That is really good. I love the complications. They're so clear and easy to read. You know, your day, your date, everything on there is so clear, and it just adds a bit of interest to this lovely big dial. I love the dial colour. It's a bit more of a vintagey style colour with the contrast of the black on there as well. And it helps you get a brown or a green strap on there. It could be a NATO, something like that. And you've got a lot more choices. The practical features are good, again linking to the fact it's 100-meter water resistance. It's got mineral glass. I know it's not sapphire, but mineral is still tough. It's 316 steel. It's got all the right spec in terms of the materials used. And I like the movement. It doesn't have any rotor wobble. You don't notice that. And it's got the hacking and hand winding features, which makes it practical as well. So if you haven't worn it for a while and it's run out of power, you can give it a quick hand wind, and when you set the time, you can get it to be really spot on. So you can pull the crown right out and it stops the seconds hand. And then you've got the price, less than £150 in the UK, and some places you can probably get it cheaper. It depends what country, and it depends on import fees, all those kind of things. But this is a fantastic watch for less than £200, no shadow of a doubt. And I like this oddity and rarity. It's not a Seiko. It's not your bog standard choice for what a lot of people could go for when it comes to a field style watch. So those are all the positives. As you can see, it's quite a long list. And my dislikes is the leather strap, which I've got back here. It's a bit stiff, a bit unforgiving, and I don't like the fact it's made out of calf. I don't know why, I just feel like it's just taking cruelty to the next level. I'd rather eat it, to be honest, not wear it on my wrist. And then, well, that's a bit of a contradiction. Anyway, dislikes, the leather strap. The size, ever so slightly too big. I've just been really picky here. It could have been a bit smaller, maybe a 40. But then it works in proportion with those other subdials. It all just seems to fit together. So maybe the size is pretty much spot on. Mineral glass, if I'm being really fussy, would have been nice to have sapphire, but then they'd have had to put AR coating on it. And that maybe steps up to being a bit more dressier. As a tall watch, mineral is appropriate. Or they could have downgraded it and put some badass acrylic in there, which, you know, you can just polish out any scuffs and marks on it. So maybe the future of field watches is downgrade the materials in some respect to something that's more appropriate. So that could work. And this is running a bit fast. It's plus 17 a day, which it's within tolerances, but you can adjust it. But I can live with that, to be honest with you. So my likes and my dislikes. So the final conclusion is, would I recommend this? 100% yes. I've said where you can get it. I've covered the pros and the cons, the difference between version 1 and 2. Version 2 has got some nice little upgrades, and it's a fantastic price. So I really hope you've liked my little take on this, and I thoroughly hope you come back and check out my next review. So guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.